What are the 5 most common anxiety disorders and how to tell if you suffer from anxiety? Welcome to Kiss Health, your all-in-one health hacks channel. In today's video, we will talk about the 5 most common anxiety disorders and their signs and symptoms that you can observe to tell if you suffer from anxiety. Make sure you stick around until the end of the video to find out an essential key remark all about these 5 anxiety disorders. You will surely be surprised to know how anxiety can manifest its way in anyone's life without even them realizing it. Find out if you are a victim too, and we will further assist you in coping with anxiety. Anxiety is a normal emotion that we experience in day-to-day life, be it during an interview, while visiting a dentist, or normally conversing. It is a vague and irrational fear or apprehension that we feel in various situations. When these apprehensions and fears turn more unpleasant, their effects on a person's mental and physical health become disturbing and harmful. With time and intense manifestations, such emotions can turn into anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorders have several types with various hidden causes resulting in various symptoms. Here are the 5 most common anxiety disorders. Number 5. Generalized anxiety disorder, GAD. Generalized anxiety disorder involves an individual constantly being worried about facing daily events and everyday activities of life. It can include your daily job, financial matters, relationships, health, etc. This extreme continuous anxiety over several elements in life can interfere and impair one's overall functioning. Although one suffering from GAD may not always be able to reason one's causes for anxious behavior, the symptoms can often be adverse. Signs of GAD. One of the very common signs of generalized anxiety disorder is feeling of restlessness and over-worrying in situations. This obsessive worrying can develop massive internal disturbances and symptoms such as sleeplessness, loss of concentration, hypervigilance, fearing about the future, trembling, and general irritability from time to time. A lot of people tend to pile up everyday worries that contribute to this disorder, and one must identify it and approach treatment. Well, did you learn something interesting about everyday anxiety? Wait till the end, as we will cover more of these intimidating mental health issues. Number 4. Phobias. We all know about different phobias that people have. Some are mild, whereas others can be very peculiar. Phobias are persistent and irrational fears of particular objects or situations. Some among the most common phobias include fear of water, height, darkness, spiders, snakes, and so forth. While these fears are usually general or deep-rooted, they can often turn problematic. When this fear hampers with one's work, daily routine, self-esteem, and relationships, it develops into an anxiety disorder. Common symptoms of phobia: when one is exposed to a particular object or situation they fear, they may feel extremely scared and anxious, out of control, breathless, disoriented, fastened heartbeat, increased perspiration, nausea, headache, pains in the chest, etc. These symptoms make it very harmful to face instances of the specific phobia and can cause severe mental and physical impairment due to heightened anxiety. Number 3. Panic disorder. As the name suggests, panic disorders are characterized by sudden, recurrent attacks involving increased and uncontrolled heart palpitations, tremors, a choking feeling, chest pains, fear of losing control, terror, and numbness. These attacks can occur at any time and without any warning. There usually isn't any real basis or explainable reason behind such feelings of sudden terror. The symptoms of panic disorder are physical as well, as with depersonalization effects on the mind. These panic attacks become a disorder as their occurrence is uncertain and become a constantly anticipated fear in one's mind. Number 2. Agoraphobia. Just like we discussed, phobias being a certain fear towards an object or situation, similarly, agoraphobia is also an uncontrolled and irrational fear towards a place that can create panic, a feeling of helplessness, and even embarrassment. The ones facing this anxiety disorder fear not being able to escape such places easily. Public places such as malls, buses, gardens, crowded markets, etc. can often make one feel this way and give rise to a panic sensation. The fear towards public places makes one want to avoid such a situation that can cause a panic reaction in them. The signs of agoraphobia include not wanting to be left alone, discomfort in crowded and public places, fear of being trapped, social distress, and so forth. Such fears are usually too severe despite the place implying no real danger. A panic attack can accompany this fear. One can be seriously mentally affected, and such recurrences over 6 months can be a proven sign of agoraphobia. And now, the final type of anxiety disorder. You might have heard about this one before. Number 1. OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder. OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder is composed of 2 parts that depend on each other. First, an obsession, which is an unwanted and unpleasant thought or urge that repeatedly causes anxiety and discomfort in an individual. For example, one may have an obsession with the fear of germs or infections. This leads to a constant worrying about being infected by germs. The second part, that is, compulsion, refers to the repetitive behavior one performs to prevent this obsessive fear from coming true. As in the example, someone who is obsessed with the thought of being affected by germs can show a compulsive behavior of frequently washing their hands and bathing to prevent catching an infection or disease. The symptoms of OCD involve compulsive actions, hypervigilance, ritualistic behavior, social isolations, agitation or fear when unable to perform compulsive behaviors, etc. Ones with OCD do often realize that their repetitive actions are illogical, but they are unable to avoid them. These behaviors represent unreasonable fears and over time manifest into anxiety disorders. Now that you've stayed with us till the end, as promised, we have the important remark that one should always know. Although the symptoms and treatment options of these anxiety disorders may seem similar, in reality they are very different. Each condition has its separate causes and needs that must be considered. Every therapy and medication is different depending on person to person. True identification and personalization of the correct treatment procedure is the key to resolving these disorders. To find out about anxiety disorders and identify their symptoms, one must always pay attention to their feelings of distress and emotions. By now, you have learned about anxiety and its 5 most common types, which are generalized anxiety disorder, phobias, panic disorders, agoraphobia, and obsessive compulsive disorder, along with ways to tell if you have anxiety. Let me know in the comment sections if you notice any of the mentioned symptoms in yourself or your loved ones. We strive to spread awareness about mental health and bring you everyday health hacks to cope with anxiety and improve mental health. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more such related content. If you found this video interesting, I'm sure you would love to know about herbal remedies for anxiety, top 5 teas that calm anxiety. Be sure to check it out, and always remember, health is wealth.